Hello, crafty friends. My name is Kimberly Smith, and I'm the Paper Chef. About 5 years ago, I created labels like these, which I've been updating every year since then. And I created these for myself to organize my craft supplies and to create color swatches for my customers and team members. And since then, it's evolved where I just kept adding new colors every time there was a color refresh, every time new colors were added. And now, in my collection of the swatches I created, there are 83 swatches, little digital. I say swatches like you would say swatches for a color of fabric or something, but I say swatches in the digital sense. Hello, Diana. Please say hello as you come in, and if it pops up and doesn't go away real quick, I can say hello to you. So the digital swatches are these little circles that I created. I used Canva. I use what's called a hexadecimal code. Hello, Ermina. And that is something that Stampin' Up! Provides. So I'm using the exact formula, the exact code, the digital code to match the actual code for the color. So let me just grab it, cardstock to show you. So this, every pack of cardstock has a code which you use for printing, and then it has a code which you use for digital format. I want to, in this video, share several ways that I use this for my personal business. If you'd like to download this, I do have this available on my Etsy shop. It took me a great deal of time to create, both the first time and all day just to update today, which is many times over. And I keep on supporting you in many ways. If you've ever downloaded this digital download from Etsy before, I will provide you with an update. Just contact me within the Etsy conversation. Hello, Lynn. Nice to see you. It's called Convo when you conversation with someone. So you don't have to pay for the download again. Once you download it, although I updated my download, I'm not going to make you pay for a download every year. You have a download for life. As soon as, not for life, but as long as I update the labels, I will give you the update. It doesn't mean I'm promising to do this every year, but right now I'm doing it every year because I'm using these for myself. Now, I wanted to mention, like I said, several things you can do with these. And whenever I create courses or I create digital downloads or I create tutorials or card making workshops, everything I do for myself to make sure it's useful for me, and I share these tools with others so that it's useful to you. So I don't come up with these ideas like, oh, I wonder if somebody could use that. That's not how I do it. It's like, what can I use as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Okay, so especially if you're in business, this is going to be a useful tool for you. Or what can I use as a crafter to organize my crafts? And if I can use it, then I hope that others can use it too. That's how I come up with the ideas. Is like, what do I need to help me get organized? So I have a few of these to show you. And I've done several tutorials on the ScanNCut. And they're all on my YouTube channel. And I linked to one of those, the most recent one below. So this will be the most recent one. But I've done it with all of these different colors. So I've been at this since I think 2018 or whatever, making these labels. So every year, whether it be with my designer series paper share or my cardstock share, or just like a little customer appreciation when I'm sending them something, or in this case, I'm not going to have my cardstock. I'm not going to have my 12 by 12 cardstock in time for maybe my cardstock share. But every year I give swatches away. So it might be at a workshop or just something I do. And I let my team download these labels. So these are just the in color labels. Hello, Alberta. So she's saying, and hugs and prayers to you too. She's saying she's happy to get these as a download. All right. See how this is like Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party. All right. The reason I do this, a Tahitian Tide, or whatever, Starry Sky, Orchid Oasis. I put these in color collections of cardstock together because I want you to know what the new colors are, the names of them. Right? But I also want you to see something like this. This is amazing. I want you to see how well these coordinate and go together. That's the real reason. It's like that's the amazing part. I personally am not jumping for joy about the new in colors. But when you see them, let me grab the sheet of these. They go together really well. I mean, look at the colors when you see them next to each other, how well they're coordinated. Okay, now here's the other colors. These are recently retiring colors. So you're going to see in the labels I created, and I'll explain why. You're going to see Fresh Freesia twice. And that's because I'm able to give you 60 labels to print out on Avery cards, on Avery labels. And then you're able to, you know, use those. And that, so I'm giving you the most 5 recently retired colors. But this color, Fresh Freesia, is coming back. So although it's retiring now, it's coming back like a day later in part of our Subtles collection. So that's why you'll see it twice. Because I always give out the 5 recently retired colors. And then these colors, you're not going to see like these colors right now, but you're going to get the swatches. Hello, Judy. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Judy. She's saying your time is worth money. Yes, absolutely. I have no, after getting a lot of business coaching, right? I have no trouble. I know that I'm charging too little for everything I do. And like I have absolutely no qualms about charging for things because I'm actually in business. So yes, that's true. So if you're going to say, oh, someone else gives me labels, go get them from them for free. But this is something very special that I do. There's no other labels like these. And maybe there are. And if there are, go get them. Have at it. I could care less. But I'm saying if you want these are going to support you. But no. Oh, hello, Yvonne. So these, anyway, look how well these go together. So awesome. All right. So let's start out with how, you know, when you get the digital download, a couple tips before I get into all the different ways you can use these. So one thing I noticed is my Epson printer works awesome with this. That's over there. It's an incredible printer anyway, but it works awesome, meaning I use the back feeder. You can see it right here. So you put the labels in the back here, and then you just feed them in. But one thing I do need to say is when you're printing, you're going to use Avery label paper 5160, which is 30 labels per page. And you must say that to use the actual size of the PDF. Don't try to do something where it's going to scale. By default, my printer is trying to scale at 97%. And when it does that, all the labels shift up a little bit. So you want to say actual size, and then they'll fit right on the labels perfectly when you say actual size, don't let it scale. Okay, so that's 5160. What comes in your digital download, before I get into all the rest of the uses, is you're going to get a set of 2023 Stampin' Up! Color labels. Okay, that's these. Because there's 30 per page, and I wanted to give you 60 labels, I was able to add the 4 collections, 10 subtles, 10 brights, 10 neutrals, 10 regals, and then the 2 in color collections. Well, it's really 1 in color collection. It's 10 in colors, that's 50. 3 basics, that was 3 basics, basic white, basic vanilla, basic black. I put 2 color me, because that would be fun just to use some blends to color me. I just put those to fill up the 60. And I gave you the 5 most recently retired colors. I do this every year. 5 most recently retired colors. So for this page, this would be, you're going to see Fresh Freesia as a recently retired color. And you're going to see it on page 2 as part of the Subtles collection. Oh no, that's Bubble Bath. It's right here. Fresh Freesia. So just so you know that, you're getting 60 colors that are current on your PDF. Then you're going to get a whole PDF of these. Now, when I get my 12 by 12 cardstock from Stampin' Up, which I ordered, I'm going to do a tutorial again on how to create these tags. I leave nothing for granted. I don't take anything for granted. I mean, I don't assume that anything. I'm going to show you this from start to finish again. How to make these cute little label tags. And you can use this for any kind of thing in your business. I mean, not just for the in colors, but to make tags. Not just for your business. For anything. You can learn how to make tags for putting on treats and things. So I have one of these tutorials already done. You're going to use the 12 by 12 cardstock. You're going to use a built-in pattern from the ScanNCut. And then when you do that, if you don't have a color printer, what are the options? Just use it digitally. No other. Well, I mean, Yvonne, you already get one as a team member, so you don't have a color printer. The other options are ask me. I'm your upline. I will mail you labels. Like ask someone else. Like Janet's also awesome at helping me. In fact, I shout out to Janet for telling me I spelled copper wrong. How embarrassing. I put like Cooper. But it's good to have an extra set of eyes. And on my team, I knew Janet had some labels. She helps me do Happy Mail, and I was like, okay, you know, check this out. Can it print? Does it print right? And she's like, spelling. But I'm glad. So yeah. Anyway, I can mail you these. And then, of course, what I'll do maybe for the design, I'm not going to have these in time for my cardstock share. I don't think. I'm not going to have all these made. And plus you're getting cardstock and it's going to be labeled anyhow. I already have the cardstock share, you know, ready to, or not ready to go because I don't have the cardstock yet, but I already have that in the works. But maybe for the Designer Series paper share, if I can get a lot of labels created, I might make it an add-on where you can add it onto your Designer Series paper share, get a set of labels sent to you. I do have to charge because we're using ink and labels and et cetera, obviously. And what I could do is I could send you the physical labels, but then also like make the digital download available to you or something like that. I'll figure out how to do it if I can. If I have, like I said, whatever, it depends on when I get in time. So that's the idea behind this product. And now I want to share how useful this product really is for me and my business and just for my crafty organization. And I want to if you have any other ideas or how to use this product, these digital labels, please share with me, share with the rest of us in the chat. So first off, let's start with when I first get a pack of cardstock. Yes, thank you, Yvonne. Yes, my price is always very fair. Or even as my coaches would say, is you practically I give all my courses away for free because I give like the $9.99 coupons. But I'm trying to help more people, which is why I try to make things way more accessible. All right, when you first get a pack of cardstock, okay, so it comes like this. And then I'm going to be storing them up here because it's all nice and tidy because it's all sealed, right? As soon as you start doing any kind of crafting, no tidy is out of the question, right? The little plastic flies away. There's little scraps of extra paper you're trying to save, and extra cardstock goes everywhere. So what I do with my extra cardstock after I open it is this. This is real life. This is ideal. Beautiful brand new paper. If anyone has their stuff like this and acts like they use it, they're full of crap. Okay, sorry, I'm not probably allowed to say that on YouTube. Nobody just uses stuff like in this format. Like, oh, how beautiful. We take a sheet out and we lay it there and we use it all up and we get rid of all of our scraps. No. A real crafter, this is the situation you're in, right? You have scraps, right? So you have scraps everywhere and you don't want to get rid of them, right? Because you're like, you can use them to punch out things and to die cut. So once your paper's open, it's good to put it in these folders. So I'm getting these. I think I got them at Hobby Lobby. I could have got it off a supply store. I have loads and loads of these. And what I try to do is, because each set of Designer Series paper has a few different colors of cardstock that go with it in its theme or in its selection or in its collection. And these are little snap things. I use the 12 by 12 ones from Hobby Lobby by the Paper Studio. Those are the ones I use for my 12 by 12 cardstock. But anywho, these papers go together. That's why they're in the same folder, because they went with the Designer Series paper at the time and they go together. Or this is a new one, and I already happened. This isn't. I don't have my new cardstock yet, Lemon Lime Twist, but I'm using a new color to show you, because I had this Lemon Lime Twist because a few years ago it was an ink color, and you can label it right there. And then here's another one to show you. Again, I'm just, showing you that you have a few colors together. So put them in the envelopes as you're working with them in the same way, in the same color collection so that they coordinate. Now, another thing I thought you could do, let me grab my card bases. Okay. And these are things I've actually done. Okay, cardstock on the floor. I'm sorry, I missed that about the cardstock being on the floor. Okay. When you're doing, say, swaps, and you're like, oh, maybe you don't have your paper yet, but your design's in your head. You're like, I'm going to make a bunch of card bases and maybe have some extra, and you put this is all a bunch of them in the same bag. But maybe you're not, like, you haven't memorized the colors yet. I'm just going to do this here visually to show you. So I'm going to take the Cajun Craze sticker off of here. Right, Cajun Craze. And I'm going to put it on the back. Just pretend I have a whole pile of the same color. And these are just my little organizational bags. Or you could use plastic envelopes. So put the Cajun Craze there. And you make a bunch of card bases. And you're ready to go for when the rest of your stuff comes to do your swap. So you can label. Hello, Kathy. Nice to see you. You can label your cardstock just in your bags when you make your card bases. Or you're getting ready for kits in the future. You have a card club and you're getting ready and you label all your card bases. Now you see I have loads and loads of cut, loads and loads of card bases cut. These are my buckets of crafty goodness. I even have stuff cut out with my ScanNCut, my little geese and little pieces of cardstock. But I do need to practice what I preach here and organize these and label these. All right, so that's another way. And then I thought of this one, this way to show you. So you have, let's get Tahitian Tide. So I have, this was an ink color card I made. It's a little, so I'm gonna send this to a customer. This is an example of one of the ink color little piggy cards I made. By the way, this is retiring, pretty sure. What is it? This birthday piggy? Someone let me know if this birthday piggy's retiring, pretty sure. Anyway, the color's not the Tahitian Tide color. So here's Tahitian Tide, right? I go like this. I send this to a customer. Boom. It doesn't just write Tahitian Tide with no context, right? It's not like I put Tahitian Tide with no label color there. They'll be like, why is she writing Tahitian Tide? That is, it's a pig. What does that have to do with the tide, right? Well, when you see it has a little swatch, then you know it's a color. Yes, goodbye piggy. Sorry, Yvonne, right? Goodbye piggy. I love the piggy. Now it's the second piggy set that I love that's retired. So anyway, this is telling you what kind of cardstock I used on the card when you send it to someone. All right, so let's do some other uses. I brought out some samples here of this. Now, I have all this done already with my sponge daubers, but I have not found it yet, just like I've not found my reinkers. So we're going to do it again as a visual. So I've already done this with my greens and blues, but I have loads and loads of sponge daubers. And, okay, here's this one. Looks like a, let's just say it's Gorgeous Grape for the sake of this, example. Oh, it's less than $10? Oh, that's even better. I'm glad it's less than $10, the piggy. So I'm taking Gorgeous Grape out of here. And this is one of those little boxes for, you know, you can get smaller ones at the Dollar Tree. This is a bigger one, a craft organizational box. Love organizing my crafts. So you can stick these. Let me just do it and then I'll hold it up. I'm gonna stick this in there. Gorgeous Grape sticker. Okay, it sticks in there. Look at that. Okay, so you could do this to your whole box, and in goes your sponge daubers, right? And you have a sponge dauber for each color and you don't mix the colors. Why is this important? Because say you're using the Stamparatus or a stamping block and you're trying to add a stamping pad on the basic color, then you're trying to add extra colors on top of it. If you start mixing colors with the sponge daubers, I mean, they're only $1, guys. Well, less than that if you get a discount as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. But get a bag of sponge daubers and label them. And then you can tap, tap, tap the little color onto your ink pad. And you can put them in here and organize them. Like I said, I've already done that to my greens and blues, but who knows where that is? It's part of my unpacking fun that I'm having. Okay, another idea. So say you have, I'm just gonna pretend this is polished pink. Okay, it's probably polished pink. So you might want to put that on there. And you could, I mean, it's a little big because I'll show you, maybe do this. Right? There you go. I'm going to wrap it around the blend, the stamping blend handle, if I want to separate the blends. Now, I'm not going to do that with every single one of my blends. Instead, this is the reality. I don't do that to all my blends, but I'm saying if you like having a separate one for each, I'm more of a person that does greens on one blender brush and blues on another and pinks on another, and I mix them all together. And, you know, here's a smaller blending brush. You can see the two sizes. This is little purples. And I just, when I'm done, I just go around dun, 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 like this on a mat, well, you can't see that, but that's one of those placemats, I guess you call them. Here, it's one of these grid papers. And I just go like that and rub off the ink when I'm done. But if you're trying to do a demonstration and you don't want your customers to mix up the inks, maybe there's a lot of different kinds of pinks and they can't tell which ones are apart, especially, you know, because they're not familiar with all the color names, then it's good to like label it so that they know that they're only supposed to dip this into this ink pad that says polished pink. Now I don't dip them straight into the ink pad, but you'll know that if you watch my tutorials. I dip them straight into like a stamping block first, but that's another whole story. Techniques are another time. All right, let's talk about this. One of the things I've done, okay, brush, put on the brush handle. Yes, Avery tab labels, thank you. Okay, so Yvonne's saying use the Avery tab labels. And that would be, I have those too. They would be narrower and you would put them right on the blending brush handle. Now I gave you the labels that are a PDF like this, but you can take the swatches and make labels with the swatches on other sizes, which is really nice. And I'm going to explain how to learn how to design your own labels too, which is high tech, but I do that at the end for those that want to go deep, because there's nothing I don't share in that course. That course just goes like whoosh, 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 whoosh into the deep. All right, so we're diving into the deep end of the pool in that course. So this one is a Wink of Stella. So what I did is I have a video on how to dye your Wink of Stella. And you would take your re-inker and you would take off the lid of your Wink of Stella and you pour the ink inside, and then you add some extra rubbing alcohol and you make another color of glitter. So instead of just having clear glitter, you can have different colored glitters. And I have several colors on my Wink of Stella. I use my leftover ones to recolor them and to stretch them out. And this is me putting the color label, just this part on the back. So that's an idea. Now, if you're a type that can't read like me, you need reading glasses. We're all getting up there, right, in age. Let me take a sip. And thank you, Linda. Linda gave me, she's watching right now. So I'm going to show, she gave me this cup. Thank you, Linda. She's from Cut and Create. She's one of my team members. So, check out her channel too. Create your own piece. If you guys don't have a coffee warmer, you are missing out, because I come out here just to drink coffee that's warm. I shouldn't be drinking this late, but I love my coffee warmer so much that I'm drinking it. All right, so back to this. If you are having a hard time seeing, I like to finish my thoughts, and sometimes, in my videos, I start a thought, get into crafting, forget my rest of my thought, but this thought I want to finish. You may have blends and you just can't read them because they're so small, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating because they look alike. So I'm going to take, for this example, Calypso Coral, Cajun Craze, because they look alike. Now, I know them apart, but I mean, how can you tell them apart, really, right? They look very much alike for the blends. So you can get your sets of labels. Let me find some Cajun Craze. Okay, and I'm just gonna slap it on. I'm gonna turn it over to like the side that has the barcode on it, and maybe the other side I'm not gonna cover up, because the other side has the whether it's a dark or light Cajun Craze. Okay, so this is, and this is good for, not just for yourself, but maybe you're doing a tutorial and you're trying to teach people to use, like, which colors you're using. Okay, now look how cool this is. And look how big that is. Is it upside down? Okay, there we go. So that is a way, to use your labels. Of course, you'd have to do it twice, to the light Cajun Craze and the dark. Now, they're not, you need both. Well, wait, that was the light Calypso Coral. See, my point exactly. I just mixed up the Cajun Craze and here's the light Cajun Craze and the dark Cajun Craze. So you'd want to put that on both of those. And you could put an L and an, well, I don't need light. It's light and dark because of the lid is light and dark. So that's how you're going to know it's light and dark. Okay, let's see if I have any other examples. And you could put it on the actual side of the sponge dauber as well. So this one here we'll just write. I sponge daub all the time with the pink colors. Here, since I have 2 fresh freesias, we'll do fresh freesia. Hello, Denise. See what I mean? And you could just put that on there. Now, I would say start out with this side. Don't start out with the side with the dot. Start out with, if you're going to use the whole label, right? Start out with the side without the dot. Because your dot's going to kind of overlap a little bit. So there's another way to know what your sponge daubers are. Labeling the blends, yeah. So, and you could also label your markers. So your Stampin' Rate markers. Let's just take a look at one of them. The label, here, we'll look at this one. This one is going to be Rich Razzleberry. I think that's one of the color. I just grabbed the color that's retiring, but I'm not getting rid of it because I like Rich Razzleberry. I like Rich Razzleberry better than Blackberry Bliss, I'll tell you that. But let's take Blackberry Bliss, because I just took that one out of its little holder. And we're going to show you how this will look on a marker. Again, I don't want to color the part that has the Blackberry Bliss word on it, because that way I have a label on both sides. I have a label on one side that has it written real tiny, and then I have it on a side that looks like real big. So here's my marker. and we will go ahead and do that. And this is great for, again, you're doing tutorials, or maybe you're taking a photo. Okay, so this is another idea. So you're trying to, you do a card tutorial. I do card classes more than tutorials, but say you're doing a PDF tutorial and you want to lay out your products and you're like, okay, I'm using these colors. Well, just well, you can't see that, but here, we need a blank piece of paper. Here we go. See how cool that would look? Just pretend you put it on the wood table and you lay out the colors that you used in your tutorial. Or you have a picture of your card and next is all the colors that you've used to make that card. So you could see that real well. Plus they know that you used a marker versus they know you used a blend, or maybe use marker and the blends. Label everything and your colors are standing out. Okay, so then I'm gonna show you I don't know why people get so emotional about how I put my labels on my ink, but you should hear how many comments I get about, oh, I can't believe you don't put the label on the outside of your ink. It's like, I don't want to. Like, who cares, right? But anyway, I'm just giving you an idea. So maybe if you're doing a tutorial, like you're taking a picture, maybe you could put the label in there. I mean, just for it would get ink all over it after you shut it, but I'm saying for your tutorial or for your photo where you're opening up the ink and you're showing how to tap, tap, tap and get your ink color and you put the label inside there and show someone. That's why I put my labels on the inside of my ink, because I'm constantly have the camera facing down, showing you what I'm doing, and I want you to see the color in there. Plus, I don't have to worry about whether I put my ink in this way or that way. And if I did put these labels on the outside, I'd be like going crazy trying to make sure I always put the ink in the right direction, just because half of them would have labels sticking out and half don't. And there are labels, again, you have labels on the back that are solid. You can use the solid labels for whatever you want to use them for. And you can label the outside of your ink. But there's only one of them, so you can't label both sides of your ink, only one side. So just so you know. Just don't get upset about how other people organize their crafts. I think it's like very silly that people do that. I think I'm going to leave that little label. You could see I like having the little sponge daubers in my fingers. All right, I think that was all of my ideas. Let me see if I saw any more that coming in from you guys. We can organize our sponge daubers, our markers, our blends, our inks, our cardstock. Oh, designer series paper. What I did with these packs. Okay, I have a couple more ideas, but these were from my BOGO sale, so I'm not going to label these right now. But whenever I got pieces, a couple years ago, we had this like really cool special where you joined, and they give you all these colors of designer series paper. And so I bought them all. Well, demonstrators can buy them all separately anyway, but I'm saying I got them all at the time. And what I did is there's like these are color collections. These are subtles. Some of these are retiring, some aren't. So you see how like there's subtles in there. There's like four. There should be four of each. And what I did is, this is designer series paper now. I took one of each of the subtles. Yeah, there are 2 labels in English now on... Oh, there's 2 labels of English now on pads? You mean, are you talking about... Okay, please clarify if you're talking about the new ink pads, because I didn't get any... I'm waiting on my new order. If there are 2 labels in English now, then maybe I would put one on the outside, but not just the little strip. People ask me, how do you know what color you have? And I'm like, the way I know what color I have is like the marker next to it is kind of how I know what cut, like where... I can't see the color there from the ink pad. I can't see the color from the ink pad itself, but I can see the color of the marker. That's how I know. But if they are in English, I'm happy to hear that. But then I'm going to be like having old ink pads that don't have the label in English. Okay, Denise is clarifying. Yes, the new ink pads have it in English. Okay, back to this. So you could take your designer series paper, this kind with the patterns on it, and you can label all your colors. And you could do that for a display. Maybe you're doing a display or something, or you're just trying to show people like what comes in each pack of the new papers. So I did all that. Now these happened, I had so many of these papers that I ended up putting them in my BOGO sale. See, so like someone got this free when they spent $11.50, but I did, a lot of people did claim these, and I still have a lot of them left. So I'm probably gonna put these, I don't know, the way I feel about BOGO, it's a love-hate thing. So maybe they put these in the mystery crafty surprises, or I may do another BOGO at some point, but I'm recovering from my last BOGO. That's called a buy one, get one sale. Okay, you can label your ribbons. So again, we can label our cardstock, designer series paper, ribbons. You could label your embellishments. You could label your like we already said, cardstock, designer series paper. Oh yeah, your Wink of Stella. You can label your Stampin' blends. There's what they look like. You can label your markers. You can label your ink. You can label your ribbon. All right, now we know all the uses for them. Do you want to learn how to make these yourself? This is only those of you that want to dive deep into this. And to do this, you need Microsoft Word, and you can't use the web-based Office 365 version that we can get for free or with subscription. I would call that the cheapy version. That version, Office 365, is equivalent of like Google Docs. It doesn't do hardcore mail merge. Mail merge is the way I made these. So if you want to learn how to use mail merge and put graphics with your text, and again, I'll even give them the new updated ones. I go into there and update the course with the new labels just so they have it. They get my source files, they get my Excel sheet, they get my color swatches and everything, and you learn how to make these yourself. That's if you really want to make them yourself. Now, to me, you're going to spend more time making them yourself than just downloading them if your time is worth money, if you consider that. But if you're like me, it wouldn't matter. You'd be so curious as to how I made them that you want to go learn to make them yourself. So that's an option. And that course is usually only like, sometimes I have $9.99 coupons, so definitely sign up for my newsletter. But right now it might be like $11.99. I don't know, just go click on the link. Udemy, it's on Udemy, a place where I host it. And the link is a little different. Hi, Sandy. For each person, each time you click on the link, it's whatever they have as their sale going on. I don't have any coupons right now. But the course is called Microsoft Office Mail Merge. That's the whole course is just about mail merge, creating labels. So I show you in that course how to create address labels for customers using a database, a data source, meaning an Excel spreadsheet. So you need Microsoft, the desktop version, not the Office 365 version. I want to make sure I make that very clear. This will not work with the web-based version of Office. You need Office, Microsoft Office, a license. Okay, that's a desktop version with Microsoft Excel. And you're going to connect the source. You're going to connect your data spreadsheet. I'm going to show you with addresses. You'd have customer addresses or what have you. It could be a Christmas card you're trying to send out. Why make it hard on yourself? You're going to take your addresses and merge them to a document where you make labels. So I first teach you how to make labels with addresses. Then I teach you how to make labels with graphics. And what I've been thinking in my head is one of the things I would love to do is take my YouTube videos, because so many people keep asking me, you wouldn't believe the amount of comments and questions. Oh, did you do a tutorial on this? And I'm like, head banging. Just go search for it, right? But many people don't want to search for it. They want to ask me if I have a tutorial. And then I'm always constantly saying, yes, I did a tutorial on this. Let me give you the link. And I go off and I spend a few minutes. I would like to make a directory of my videos, especially my ScanNCut ones. That's the ones I get asked about the most. And I thought it would be really cool to use this label, the same mail merge feature where I make a spreadsheet full of the thumbnails, meaning the video thumbnails, and the URLs. That's the video links to the video where I did the tutorial. And I could make a directory that way. So I'm working on that. That's kind of milling around in my head and making a directory of my videos, because there's probably 1,000 videos out there, tutorials, not to mention all the courses. So anyway, I hope you go download this, and I hope you found this useful, and that you'll go get your craft room organized either way with your colors, knowing what you have. Now, if you have all the colors memorized and you know what everything is just by looking at it, then maybe you don't need the labels, but think of your customers if you are a demonstrator, because they might not have all the colors memorized, and they could benefit from you labeling the kinds of things that you're sending to them. And if you're doing a workshop, they would benefit from the items being labeled that you're using in your workshop. All right, have a great day, everybody. And I'm going to try to come on later tonight. I have to hang out with my hubby a bit, but he's a kind of an early to bed person. And we come on, and I'm going to do part 3. This is the card, guys. Part 3 of the Irresistible Blooms Workshop Series. Okay, so that's what I was going to do tonight in a little while. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And we could be labeling this. It's Daffodil Delight color.